Hey boyos, I I hate making this video. Me and Nick just recorded the second episode of the Loner Gamecast, and it was great, super good. And we talked about what companies are saying about everything going on in the world. Talked about Call of Duty and about how I don't know, was it a good call to delay their content or not? We labeled some quotes, we quoted some quotes. We talked about some of that. We talked about, what else did we talk about? All the events, all the E3 events coming up that are taking the place of E3. And Zoom is done. And my file got corrupted. So I don't think there's going to be an episode this week. I know. So yeah, you know what I want to do. Let me open up my computer here. What I do want to do, as a sort of supplement for the lack of an episode, is I just want to go down this list of different things that happened or that are going to happen, different E3 events. I mean, it's not E3. E3 was supposed to be this weekend, right? Or this last weekend. But obviously E3 isn't happening for many reasons. Coronavirus being the one, really, that is the reason. But here are some events that are happening in its place throughout the next couple months. So let's go down here. IGN Expo is happening June 10th at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time. They're doing their own not E3 festival called Summer of Gaming, which is also full of charity streams, speed runs, celebrity let's plays, but I think they're also going to be talking about some games. The Sony PS5 showcase was delayed last week, but it's actually going to be this Thursday. And they just announced that today. So keep your eye out for that. We will be talking about that next week. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. The Guerrilla Collective is happening June 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Guerrilla Collective is a multi-day showcase focused on indie and mid-sized studios, hosted by Kinda Funny co-founder Greg Miller. So that should be cool. Talking about smaller games, more indie games, AA games. The PC Game Show is happening June 13th. They haven't announced a time for that yet, but the PC Game Show is always interesting, usually too long, usually boring, but it's happening. The Steam Game Festival is happening June 16th through the 22nd. This is technically part of Jeff Keighley's Summer of Game Fest, but it should be talking about various games. This year, Microsoft will also be part of the event, suggesting that demos for some of its first-party games could potentially go live at this time. EA Play Live 2020 is June 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Traditional EA Play events let members of the public play demos and mingle with influencers, but this year's showing will obviously be online. The publisher hasn't revealed what will be on display, but between EA Access coming to Steam sometime this year and Anthem 2.0 currently in the works, EA has plenty to talk about. And by the way, I'm getting all of this from Ethan Gotch at Kotaku. I think, EA Play is usually lackluster, but, EA hasn't talked much about what is going on over there at E3, or at EA, sorry. So I wonder if we're going to hear about some games we don't know about, see what Respawn's working on maybe. Who knows? New Battlefield probably. Day of the Devs is June 22nd at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. The Game Awards and I Am 8-Bit are partnering with Double Fine on a digital Day of the Devs event showcasing indie games and larger scale projects. The first leg of it will be in late June, followed by another July 20. Both will feature the likes of studios such as The Behemoth, Sabotage Studio, Team 17, That Game Company, and Tribute Games, and include gameplay, previews, and new indie game debuts. This one's interesting. Sega New Game Plus Expo. Sega is joining with Koei Tecmo and a bunch of other publishers from Japan and North America to share new game announcements, interviews, and gameplay demos in a digital showcase it's calling New Game Plus Expo. Hopefully we'll catch a glimpse of an interesting JRPG or two. The entire thing will stream on Twitch. CD Projekt Red delayed their event, which is called Night City Wire, which they're going to go in depth about Cyberpunk 2077. They pushed it to June 25th. The time is still to be determined, but that should be interesting. Ubisoft Forward is basically Ubisoft's press conference that they normally do at E3, but this year they are doing it in July 12th to be exact. And they will be doing that at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. They'll probably talk about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs, Legion, and whatever the hell else they're working on. And then the last one is Microsoft's Xbox 2020 event, which is going to happen in July. The time has not yet been determined. The exact date hasn't been yet determined, but I imagine they will talk about games coming to Xbox, the new Xbox. I imagine they will talk about features on the new Xbox, and I imagine it'll be dope. So yeah, that's kind of a lot of what we talked about. Obviously more in depth. Me and Nick had some very nice conversations, and I am very sad that this is all we get to do this week. We could have recorded a whole new episode, but honestly, it would have felt disingenuous. There also wasn't like a whole hell of a lot of news. We talked about what we've been playing. Me and Nick have both been playing Battlefront 2. I've been playing a bit of Assassin's Creed. Just really bummed out. We also talked about how Sony got fined by Australia, the Australian court for misleading PlayStation players about game refunds. This is a hot topic right now. A lot of that's going on. So, yeah, that's kind of what we talked about. Next week, we'll be back. We'll have an actual show. I think I know why it got corrupt. It's totally my fault, I think. Well, it's also like Zoom just sucks. I can't wait till this coronavirus bullshit is done so me and Nick can just do this in the same room. I could have a backup computer recording as well. But, this is what we have for now. So thanks for watching, I guess.